Peace, family. I hope y'all are well and in good spirits. I wanted to come on here and share a message as it relates to the mom and the woman. So fellas, still listen up. Mamas, please listen. Put your active listening ears on and make sure you do something about it. After you hear this message, make sure you do some additional research. Talk to a mom or, share this with someone that you love. But definitely make sure that we're acting on these important messages that we hear. Okay, so the top 3 reasons why we must stop giving birth inside of these hospitals. I know that's going to make some people like, she's crazy. But I need y'all to listen and really, consider it because they're not good for us. So the first reason is just, our ancestors. Our ancestors did not give birth inside of hospitals, and they were well, and they did well. So hospitals, once the hospital was created, before that we had granny midwives. So that's just your mom, your grandma, your auntie. They would come to the home, or you would go to their home, and you would give birth. And they also were called like the baby catchers. So there's no doctor that's delivering your baby. You are delivering your baby. So the granny midwives were also known as baby catchers because they would catch the baby sometimes. So we must understand where it all started and why we switched to hospital births. Because at first, when hospitals were first created, our people were not allowed in their institutions. So I'll say that again. When hospitals were first created, we weren't even allowed in their institutions. We weren't allowed to give birth in their institutions. And then there was a big campaign, media message. There was a big campaign put out that said that granny midwives were witches. They were, witch doctors. They were performing all this hoodoo, whatever you want to call it. But there was a lot of, they were penalized. There was laws put in places. They were saying that babies were dying inside of the granny midwife's care. All of this messaging put to bring us inside of the hospitals when we were allowed to. And that's when you start seeing people giving birth on their backs, and the forceps and all these interventions, and formaldehyde, all these poisons were now being entered into the birthing world. So it's important that we understand the history in order to know why these institutions are no good for us. So again, we gave birth well before there was a hospital, and we still do. And we were only put inside of the hospital so they can control our birthing the way we birthed. So number 2, that was number 1. So number 1, it follows the Sankofa. Sankofa means to look back in order to go forward. So we have to look back at our history in order to understand what's going on and to move forward. So number 2, it's not safe. Just as simple as that. It's not safe. It's just, our moms are dying. Our babies are dying. We're not being cared for. There's massive interventions being put into, that are involved in birth, whether it's the Pitocin, as soon as you go in, you're being put on fluids, and it's not safe. It's not safe. Our men aren't allowed to be in our rooms with us at times, or they're being penalized, or criminalized. It's just not a safe space, and we know what safe spaces are. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go off topic for a little bit, but when you feel unsafe, your body goes into this fight or flight mode. So you tense up, your body just you close up, and that's the same thing that happens with birth. So when you don't feel safe, your body tenses up. It's not you're not really going to be able to birth your baby because your body is in a fight or flight mode. It's protecting you. So your body works really well. It's protecting you. So it's protecting your baby as well. So if you don't feel safe inside of a space with all these lights and monitors and strange people, your body is going to react to that, and it's going to what they call prolonged labor. I don't even know all the specific terms because that's beside the point. Anywho, it's just not safe. So number 3, the third reason why you should not give birth is because of the alternative, the experience of birth on your own terms. So when you I'm sorry, my babies. This is the only time I could film is when they're all asleep. So they're in the back of the car asleep and just, it's a little cold. But I digress. So anywho, the experience. So I was fortunate enough to be able to give birth to all 3 of my babies at home in my own comfortable space. And when you're able to control, and you know how we like to control things. When you're able to control your space, create your sacred space, when you're able to be around the people that you love, without bright lights or without people coming in and out of your space, and you don't know who they are, poking at you, prodding at you, telling you that you got to progress or we'll have to take it to the next level. Or y'all know what happens inside of these hospitals. But when you're able to control your own birth experience, and again, I want to kind of say that we can kind of plan it out, but there's not not too much control because the babies, they come on their own terms in their own way. They do, they know what to do. But the idea of, just really giving birth on your own terms is such a special, sacred, beautiful experience that we've been doing since the beginning of time, and what we'll continue to do. So just that is unmatched compared to any institution, hospital institution, that it's just not going to take care of you. It's not going to treat you like a person in most situations, or take your pain seriously if you have pain. So I'm going to throw in a number 4 just because you are not sick. You are not sick. Hospitals are great places if you are sick. Well, for some people, because I probably still won't go unless I'm really in really need of them. But you are not sick when you're giving birth. Some folks will still need hospitals, but the idea, and think on this part, the idea is if we are taking responsibility of our health, there's no point for us to be inside of a hospital, for real, unless things that are outside of our hands, like car accidents, things like that. But when we are taking care of ourselves and we understand how to eliminate all the toxins from our lives, and things like that, we really don't need these institutions that are just not good for us. So just think about it. Let me know what y'all think. Drop some comments. Let's have a conversation about it. See, do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Do y'all think there are more reasons? I do. Why we should stop giving birth in hospital. But for real, let's take responsibility for our health, and let's tap into our ancestors' wisdom of what wellness is. We are very wise, intelligent, powerful people. We just have to tap into it. We have to tap into that magic, and we will, and we are. So, peace, family.